Hello, I'm here to talk to you today about the idea of think aloud problem solving in a learning environment. What think aloud problem solving is more or less when you ask students to put their thoughts out loud to talk their way through a problem. So for example, you may have them read a section of a story out loud so that they can try and pick up on the key points that they're trying to figure out. Or if they're working through a wordy math problem, for example, having them read through that to try and figure out what elements are relevant to what they're trying to find. It's an interesting process because it helps students to break down complex problems and it helps them find what the question is trying to ask. It can also show further understanding of concepts and demonstrate that understanding as well. So, an example of using think aloud reasoning would be using riddles and word puzzles. So this is a pretty common one, a riddle of you have a wolf, a goat, and a head of cabbage, and a boat. You need to get all three of these across the river, including yourself. However, your boat is only large enough to carry yourself and one additional item, or animal in this case, safely across the river. How do you get everyone across? Well, let's talk about what we can and can't do. If we leave the goat with the wolf will eat him. If we leave the goat with the cabbage, the goat will eat the cabbage. So we know that those two combinations don't work. So the only animal that makes sense for us to take across the river would be the goat. So we'll take the goat across. Now we can go, drop him off, and come back. Who's the next one we're going to bring back? Well, if we bring the wolf over, he'll eat the goat. And if we bring the cabbage over, the goat will eat the cabbage. So what's another option here? Because inevitably they are going to have to come across the river. So how about we think about bringing the goat back? So if we bring the goat back, it doesn't matter if we leave the wolf or the cabbage unattended, because we will be with the goat, so no one's going to get eaten. So we'll go with the cabbage first. We'll bring the cabbage over and we'll bring the goat back. Now we have to bring the wolf back over, because if we bring the goat right back, the goat's just going to eat the cabbage. But if we leave with the cabbage, the wolf won't eat the cabbage. So we'll bring the wolf over again, and then we'll go back, grab the goat, everyone's across the river, and we've solved the problem. Now let's try something a bit more conventional with this. Try a basic math problem. So Buckshot and Sam Sham shoot 100 arrows each, managing to hit their target 50 times. With the score tied, and they broke for lunch. After the break, the shooting was not as sharp. Buck shot 89 arrows, but only managed to hit the target 13 times. Sam shot 50 arrows without hitting the target once. Buck claimed that his percentage after the break was better than Sam's, so therefore he must be the better shot. Sam naturally disagrees. Who had the better average for the day? So looking at this, let's ask ourselves for what the important details are. A good way to do this with every other types of problems, for example English, would be to ask yourself the 5 W's. Who's involved, what is happening, why are they doing it, how are they doing it, and where are they doing it? So who are the characters for this problem? We have Buckshot and Sam Sham. What are we looking for? Who had the better shooting average is what the problem is asking for. So how many arrows did each of them shoot? Both of them shot 100 arrows and hit the target 50 times each before lunch. After lunch, Buck shot an additional 89 shots, but only managed to hit 13, and Sam shot 50 without hitting the target. So to calculate the averages for the right answer, add the total number of arrows both of them shot, and then add the number of shots they actually hit to find a ratio. So Buck shot 189 arrows total, and only hit 63 of them. 63 divided by 189 converts to 1/3 of his shots actually hitting their mark. Sam shoots 150 arrows and only manages to hit 50 of them. 50 divided by 150 is also a ratio of 1 out of 3 shots hitting. So the correct answer is neither of them is actually a better shot than the other. They both hit 1/3 of the time. So just to recap, Think Aloud is really good for helping to simplify difficult and wordy questions by removing unnecessary details and filtering out the important information for students. It also helps them to solve problems by having a teacher talk through their thought process on how to solve them. Once a student sees how it's done, it's easier for them to imitate it for their own problem-solving needs.